All right. I'm going to go over some of the assignments with you that you need to finish on this unit on 16 personalities. We're going to try to go over everything you possibly need for this today. I know we missed a couple of days, so I'm going to say that everything in this 16 personalities folder, I had intended for you to be done, to be finishing up today, but since we were out of school and had a holiday and then a bad weather day and all that good stuff, I'm going to give you until Friday to finish all of the stuff that's in this folder. But I'm going to go over it with you today. All right, in the 16 personalities, the results, that was where you took the test, the personality profile assessment, and you were supposed to take a snip of your results. I'll show you one more time how to take your snip of your results. If you go back to that 16 personalities, over here you have a little box, and when you click on the box, it should call up your results right here. To take a snip, you can either go right here to where it says type here to search, type in the word snip, and snipping tool will come up here. You're going to take a new snip. You're going to take a picture of this section right here of your screen. You don't need any other part of it, just that right there. And then you're going to do a file, save as. Now you're going to want to save this somewhere where you know where it's at. Make sure you know what folder you're putting it in. Maybe even create a new folder on your desktop called 16 personalities. Alright, then you can double click that folder and make sure you change this. Instead of capture, just call it 16p results and then save it. Alright, now going back here, in order to turn that in, you're just going to click on this assignment, 16p results. You are attaching a file for this one. It says right up in here, attach the file to this assignment. And then you go right down here to attach files. Browse my computer. It is on my desktop in a 16 personalities folder. Click on that and open it. It will attach it. When you've done all of that, just click the word submit. I'm not going to do that because I'm afraid I will freak out Blackboard if I turn in an assignment, so I'm not going to turn one in. Alright, any questions on how to turn in that assignment? The majority of your assignments are going to be either turning in a file, which is a picture, or writing. And if you're going to have to compose or write an answer, you use right here where it says text submission, you click write submission. You type your answer and you click submit. Do not put your answer down here where it says add comments. Do not use the comments box. Okay? Use write submission or attach your files. So are there any questions on how to turn in assignments so far? Alright, so I'm going to cancel this because I'm a teacher and I don't need to turn that in. Alright, this one right here, 16 personalities link. Alright, on this one, you definitely have to write a submission. And where you're going to find that link at is on your 16 personalities page. You can go right down here where it has your link. You can left click on it, then you can right click on it and copy it. And then right here you're just going to put it in your box. Now, if I were to right click on this, it would give me all kinds of error messages and tell me that you can't do it that way. It won't let me paste in there. So you have to use the Control and the V together. And that will put it in that box. And after you've done that, you click Submit. Now, we're talking about 2 assignments so far that took you, or will take you, less than a minute actually to turn them in. You're just clicking a few buttons to turn them in. Taking the test will take you some time, but these are really easy to turn them in. Alright, let's cancel that one because I don't need to do that. Alright, we started reading over these right here that told you a little bit about yourself. We started with the introduction, and you were supposed to be taking some notes and things like that. Then strengths and weaknesses, romantic relationships, friendships. The parenthood one I'm going to go over with you because you're not parents. At least I hope you're not, and you shouldn't be for a very long time. But you do have parents. And so what I'm going to have you do is that section right there, I'm really going to have you work with your parents on that section, because my suspicion is this. One of your parents is either very close to your personality type or could be exactly your personality type. It could also be that you have a parent who is the exact opposite of you. That could happen. Now, here's what's going to be funny whenever you go and do this, because part of that assignment asks you to have your parents do the 16 personalities test. Sometimes you can clash with people who are exactly like you. Sometimes you can clash with people who are the exact opposite of you. Kind of be at odds with each other, get on each other's nerves. Yeah, that can happen. So I'm interested to see, what your parents turn out as, and I'm really interested in that answer right there, because this class is interpersonal studies, and we're talking about relationships and how we get along with people. And the biggest relationship that you have in your life right now, whether you believe it or not, is your family relationship, your family dynamic, your parents. Yes, you have friends. Yes, you do. Absolutely. And they're important. But the one that you are most immersed in is your family relationship. All right, so let me go back to Blackboard. All right, strengths and weaknesses. Most of these are, write a 3 to 5 sentence reflection about the strengths and weaknesses for your personality type. Make sure you click Write Submission to enter your answer. Address the following topics in your responses. Most of these are reflections, and I give you some guiding questions. I'm not asking you to write down this specific thing as a question. I'm asking you to consider the things that it's looking for whenever you're reading about it and whenever you're writing about it. You don't have to say, number 1, list of strengths. Number 2, list of weaknesses. That's not what I'm looking for. If you want to list them, that's fine. But don't number them like they're sentences or something like that, okay? Just make your list in there, but then write. Pretend that you're speaking to someone. There may even be a way, and I'm going to look for it because I have a couple of students who have a really hard time writing, but they're really good at speaking. So I'm going to try to find a way to see if there's a speech to text feature that we can use on here somewhere to help some of you out. All right, so you have the introduction you were supposed to read and answer, strengths and weaknesses, romantic relationships, friendships. Here's the one on parenthood. It says, consider this topic from the viewpoint of how you might treat your pets or stuffed animals. If you're not a parent, but how many of you have a pet that you take care of? How many of you have a little brother or little sister that's quite a bit younger than you? You're not their parent, but how do you interact with them? Okay? It also says, talk to your parents and get other ideas. Believe it or not, they know you better than you think. They know you better than you know you. They might see a lot of themselves in you and your behavior. Career paths are right here, workplace habits, and then the conclusion. This is an extra thing right here. Whenever you're doing the parent part, and after you finish all of these, I want you to have a conversation with your parents about this. Have a discussion with one or both of your parents. Discuss the personality profile. Ask them about whether or not the profile seems to be an accurate description of you or not. Now, you've already tried to judge if it was you and the way that you see yourself, but I want your parents to do the same. All right, again, your parents know you better sometimes than you know yourself. You may not think it's an accurate portrayal, but your parents may be able to look at you and say, well, yeah, you do this sometimes. or maybe you didn't understand what something meant and they can explain it to you. But I want you to have that conversation with your parents. And then this one says compose a 5 to 10 sentence reflection about your conversation. This is not just 3 to 5 sentences. This is 5 to 10 sentences. And you can even have your parents respond on there about you if you want to ask them to write something about you on there. All right, are there any questions on that part right there? Because it's a little bit different than the rest. Yes?
Is that bonus or do you have to?
This is a have to. This is not a bonus. Again, this class is about relationships and how you interact with people. So you're going to be asked to talk to others. Now, if for some reason your parent has one of those jobs where my mother worked nights, and so she slept during the day. She was a nurse, and she always worked the night shift. So a lot of times I couldn't do things like this with her. But my grandma was around, or my dad was there, or an older brother or sister, or if you really run into a problem, ask one of your teachers, but not me. Ask a different teacher, someone else who sees you in a different way during the day, or one of your coaches if you're an athlete or something like that. Have that conversation with an adult, someone else. But don't have that conversation with me, because most of you I don't know very well yet. Some of you I know, but most of you I don't know very well yet, so I'd prefer that you have that conversation with someone who knows you better than I do right now. Does that make sense? All right, are there any questions about these assignments and what you need to do to get them done? All right, one other thing I want to make sure you know, your discussion is that reflection that you needed to do. Remember, you click on Reflection 1, you click Create Thread, you call it Reflection 1 in the subject line here, and then you write your message and you click Submit. This one is late now because it was due last week. You're going to have a new one that's going to be posted probably later this afternoon that you're going to need to take care of by Friday. Any questions on that? All right. So far, you guys have done a really good job of listening in here and trying to grab all this stuff and understand what we're doing. Are there any questions that you have about this class that I have not addressed with you? Something that you need to know or want to know? All right. Okay, I appreciate your time. I want you to go to work on those assignments on 16 personalities. You have until Friday to get those completed. We may or may not do some other activities in the meantime.